Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a lot of very profound messages for you today. So I want to get started because I'm hoping not to go too long. I want to pull some oracle cards for you as well. And first I want to start with my sand art because that was actually really beautiful. The sand art, and this was from after midnight last night. Let's see what time it was. 1:03 actually. When did it start? Yeah. 1:03. So I'm going to give you the one shot of this sand art and I'll explain. It literally describes the journey till this point. It's like half is the divine feminine, half is the divine masculine. So you can put this up on your screen later to look at it more closely, but try to get it as close as I can. Okay, so before I take it down, I'm just going to show you real quick. So this side is the divine feminine. She's over there huddled in a cave, like digging for gold. And then the divine masculine is on the other side. He's this blue wizard fighting his demons, right? And it looks like an ET that he's fighting. See, with the big head? Anyway, you can look at it more as I'm describing it. So in this sand art, there is, and you'll see on the feminine side, there's a heart, like on the ledge at the entrance of her cave where she is. And before this shot that I showed you, the cave was literally in the shape of a heart. And her position in this is the same the whole time until the end. She's just in this cave digging for gold, you know, finding herself, right? And the other half is first this wizard, and he's got, I'm going to show you this again because there's a heart, and it's hard for me to do this because it's the wrong way, and there's a heart down here that's the divine masculine's heart, and then there's a heart up on the cave right there. See at the entrance for the divine feminine. And as this sand art goes on, she continues to work on herself. The heart at the entrance of her cave falls away, right? Because her heart breaks right away at the beginning. And then as he's fighting his demons, the blue wizard is fighting the ET demons, basically. The karmic basically comes to his rescue. So then let me see a good shot of it. So I don't know if you can see this, but then there's like this karmic woman, like an empress type person, comes to the rescue of the blue wizard there. And you see the heart shape of the cave comes back and forth as the sand goes down, goes in and out. So the divine feminine's heart is together and then apart, together and then apart. So as it goes on, there's total chaos on the divine masculine side the whole time. And there's that peace and quiet on the divine feminine side where she's searching for herself and her heart goes in and out, in and out. But the ground below her as well is caving in. And then the whole landscape of the divine masculine side is disrupted. It's total chaos and changes as it goes on. But the divine masculine with his karmic go back into there. So if they may have broken up and gotten back together, whether it's a marriage or other relationships, it's just representative of the karmic relationship with the divine masculine. So if they had a fight, they made up and went back in the cave, and then this disruption around them continued with other dark energies around them. Like there's a serpent energy that comes up in this, and anyway, it ends up where I'll show you the last couple. Finally, when the divine feminine's cave is closing in on her because it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and her heart keeps shaping and going in and out. It's there and then it's not there. And as it reduces to nothing, the divine masculine side becomes this man cave. And I'll show you this shot real quick. You can look at them later. Okay, so there's one shot where the Divine Feminine's cave is almost gone, and the Divine Masculine is now in a man cave with his karmic, right? And that's interesting. I didn't see that either. And then it looks like in this picture, it looks like on the Divine Feminine side that there's like a hand that comes down on top of her. It actually in the shape of like a wrench. It's like finally something's being given to the Divine Feminine. And then you see her, he's in his man cave with his karmic, and the Divine Feminine finally went to bed. She gave up. Okay, see her sleeping? But the whole landscape on the Divine Masculine side has changed, and she hasn't seen those changes. So then you see her, this is the last picture of the Divine Feminine where she still appears. You still see the Divine Feminine sleeping. She's gone to sleep. She can't deal with it anymore. And then the last one is just the Divine Feminine, poof, she's gone. And the Divine Masculine's in all this new terrain in his territory, in his man cave, which is his heart. So it was very profound. If you're interested in the shots, I can send you a list of the shots so you can see it for yourself. It was really beautiful. But the process of the coming together and then separating and then letting go, the surrender. So it was really beautiful. And also last night, just in general, I was getting some really beautiful energies coming in. I watched Sandy Wexler, which was actually really funny. So that you should watch. It was funny. But the messages I got after that movie were really, really beautiful. Just personal messages, but really, really beautiful energy. So today is August 3rd, 2018. It's the 3 of the Empress, which is that energy of total abundance, right? It's also the mother energy. So it could be mother energy, like an older mother energy, or someone birthing. It could be birth of an idea, birth of anything, really. But it's the Empress energy today in the 8th month, which is that inner strength, the lion, right? And then the Fool. So the day adds up to 22, which is the Fool. And that's a 4, and 4 was a big theme today. And 22 is a power number, like 11, 22, 33, and 44. So it requires twice as much, but it returns twice as much. So it's seen just as it is. So you have the 2 and the 2. So 2 on the inside, the feminine energy on the inside, feminine energy on the outside. It's seen just as it is, and it comes off as a 4, being very reliable, responsible, building of this earthly plane, right? So, and before I forget, some people were coming up with different health cures, because I've been bringing up some health issues and charities this week. And of course, turmeric is a great thing to take daily for swelling if you do have a lot of inner swelling every day. But you know, these are always things you can check with your doctor if you wanted. But you know, it is just a spice. It may interfere with some medications. I'm not familiar with the interactions of turmeric, so you should check into that before you do. But I've taken turmeric. It's not an issue for me. So anyway, the messages for today, between the Fool and the Empress, it's about, you know, taking a leap of faith to abundance, to a complete new beginning, starting over from scratch, right? But very beautiful. Like, you have the Empress. You have everything you need. It's that very feminine, creative growth energy. It's just, you know, Mother Nature. So in starting the energy for today, And I want to stress too that the Fool, being this 22-4, you wouldn't think of the 4 in New Beginnings as a 4. But it's all about the heart, right? Taking a leap of faith. And that's what brings stability. I did have a rough night. The past couple of nights I did not get good sleep, maybe 4 or 5 hours for a couple of nights. And so it's just, there's some days that I finally just feel it and I'm able to sleep later than usual. But and usually I'm a pretty good sleeper. I can't sleep once the sun comes up very well anymore, but if I go to bed early enough, I always sleep through the night without a problem. So right now it's just been difficult the past few nights, and I'm hoping that in a day or so maybe I'll actually get to sleep long and kind of recover from this lack of sleep. So also you might have experienced some sexual energy today. It may be very positive energy, and also Kegels came up, that it's actually very helpful to use the Kegel technique to pull up your sexual energy. You want to bring it up and wrap it around your heart, your third eye, your crown, okay, to recycle that energy, and also strengthens your pelvic floor muscles, which is always important. Yeah, and I kind of woke up around 5:55 again today. Unfortunately, I don't want to wake up that early. I asked for a message before I started anything this morning, specifically from Jesus, because he's been coming up all week, as, is there any specific message that I was to give you guys? And I immediately got the picture of fires, that we have a lot of fires to put out. And then I saw the goat, the mountain goat, climbing the mountain, sure and steady, and keep going. It was like, keep going, don't give up. The Capricorn energy, the goat, never gives up. But it was about transmuting these fires. And then I see this goat climbing turn into a goat on wheels, showing us that you must walk before you run. Okay? So it was very positive encouragement. Don't give up. Keep going. Just slowly but surely. Keep going. Have faith. Okay? A day at a time. That's about staying present. Don't look ahead or back. Stay present. Okay? So I thought that was an amazing message that came right through. Then I got messages of actually some personal messages were coming through for me. We go through these eclipses, I'll get major mass messages for the collective, and then as they simmer down and fade away, it starts to go in more of my personal messages again. But in general, it was just very positive, loving energy about the twin connection coming up, and about happy families, and just these sparks of passion. So this really positive union type energy is here. It's like a reset of the heart, for you to spark. So before I go through the messages I was getting from my reads this morning, one of the last messages I got, I wanted to bring up. It's a very sensitive issue, but I'm being guided to bring it up, about the divine masculine and sexual abuse. I was getting from some very specific pictures, and I'm being guided to put it out there. It's like, the people who've gotten away with these things. It's not for the abused to have to get justice. It's just about putting the truth out there. Justice will happen on its own, but you have to allow the truth to be told. And it's not meant to hurt anyone. These are just general messages that I'm getting for the divine masculine. So it's obviously not going to relate to all of the divine masculines, but it's definitely relating to some. I've spoken to those who have had very abusive situations and know their twin has been in very abusive situations. So I'm just going to tell you what I got, and if you can share it with other twins or anyone else you deem important to share it with, I'd appreciate that. So I was getting for the divine masculine a lot of that if you've had any connection with your Divine Masculine, that there's now grounding and integration of that last connection with your Divine Masculine. It's like the hour of that reset of the heart, the connection to the higher self. And you know your higher self is your twin energy, okay? Your twin's higher self is your energy, okay? It's a shared energy. So the Divine Masculine is coming up as resting in his man cave or in his heart. Like these connections with his Divine Feminine bring him more into his heart space. But obviously, if they're still with karmic partners, I'm getting energy of the Magician coming into his Magician embodiment, but still with karmic energy around them, whether they're still with them or if the energy is just still in their life. But him learning to come behind his eyes, and that him staying behind his eyes is helping him to come more into his heart space, which was very important. It's like the twin is helping him come into his heart. I literally was getting that some may feel literally released from prison when this gate is opened for a new life, inspired like a kid again. And I was getting in the center the transition, the portal. The Divine Masculine is definitely walking through a portal, okay? So I think there's some fear about this from the Divine Masculine. I saw someone like leaning over a balcony to see something, or maybe he lost something, or something dropped, or it's metaphoric for something lost. But leaning over this balcony, getting over whatever the loss was, okay, of whatever fell to the ground, or died, or, you know, or was demolished. So I was getting negative Queen of Sword energy, like this karmic energy. It doesn't have to be karmic. It could be someone who's just not in their truth. It could be the Divine Feminine. Someone who's not in their truth, or just not speaking, or saying something that the Divine Masculine deems as a nasty thing to say, okay? So whatever this energy is, it's around the Divine Masculine. And I was getting this energy like, and it doesn't have to be an air sign. It's just, and it could be this, you know, the same person can come up as two different energies in the same read. So someone who comes up as like the Queen of Wands can be the Queen of Swords as well. They could just change emotion, all right, or a different side of them comes out. So however that resonates to your situation, please take it that way. So this Queen of Swords energy, it's like the Divine Masculine feels like this person broke their right foot, or sprained their right foot. Again, this could be literal or just figurative, and twisted their left leg, giving them no options. So obviously putting them in some kind of vice grip, right? That she pushed him over the edge. So this could be a negative thing as far as the Divine Masculine is concerned, or a positive thing for the Masculine as far as he's concerned. This could be was the energy coming up. So there's obviously a positive energy in this energy. But he is deeply wounded. A death was coming up related to his deep wounding, and this again could be figurative or literal, this death. That and then this came in. This is when these specific messages started coming in. That the Divine Masculine is very deeply wounded about a death or a transition. So it doesn't have to be a physical death, but it can be. I was seeing an old stone house in the woods with a bird feeder and either a scrolled fence or just scroll work, metal scroll work. And I immediately got eyes wide shut. Okay? So something very awful happened. And it's not, whether it's to him or the karmic, he may have been or a teenage situation, doesn't even have to be his current karmic. And it's not specific coming up whether it's to the Divine Masculine or a girl he might have been with, or a guy he might have been with. But I was definitely getting this eyes wide shut energy from this old stone house in the woods. And that's interesting because I had just gotten the stone house by the creek yesterday, the day before. But this energy turned him into an alcoholic. I was seeing a man with a lot of money who thought he was invincible. And someone found, and it looks like a girl, but it could be a girl or a guy. Someone found this person a wreck. Like they were never the same, And it could be death, or somebody might have killed themselves, or it might have just been a soul death, like so. And it could be regarding the masculine, that's when his heart died. It was very dark energy, and I still feel it. And then parenting came in, because this may be why the divine masculine is very protective of their children. I was seeing evil eyes have been watching them ever since, with laser focus. So whether it happened to them or it happened to someone close to them, and this person who did it is always watching them to make sure they don't tell, right? Or they have them manipulated in that way. Evil eyes have been watching them ever since with laser focus. And I was pulling this sexual trigger, the rest of his history. So there actually could have been some kind of shooting too. Somebody might have been killed from their childhood, or from someone they knew from their childhood. It could have been a karmic experience also from their childhood. But definitely getting this very dark energy. And that person would haunt them forever and a day, was the download I got, through the moon cycles, offering that cup of love. And then I was getting to the young boy, so innocent. So it's definitely about the divine masculine as well. So it could have been, for some divine masculines, happened when they were a young boy. So innocent. The facade is dropped. Nothing more to disclose. Okay, so that was a very strong message. And continuing on that energy, it was like this is the divine masculines coming out, like saying something about themselves. I'll give you this much to work with. This is what we've been through. That the twin return to their childhood with this, and then with all the King of Wands negative energy coming up recently, I was definitely connecting this bad person to the King of Wands. Okay, there's some King of Wands reversed who's some kind of abuser, could be a sexual abuser, and then a mother energy was coming up too. Could be a Leo mother, or just could be a Leo. This King of Wands could be a Leo, or it could be a Leo female mother who watched this happen and didn't do anything about it. So she turned a blind eye, okay, to the masculine and what he went through. So you can imagine how painful that must be. And a lot of feminines have experienced these type of things as well. So I was getting, even could be like the mother's brother, right? So the mother was very close to the brother, so didn't want to get them in trouble, because they have a childlike view of their brother as well. So there's that loyalty to them, I guess, in a sense, but then didn't protect their child, which should have been their priority, right? But this is the energy that I'm getting, specifically coming up as an indigo child in a man cave. As a boy, had no options. So I'm getting that there's this Queen of Pentacles energy that outs the mother, the Empress reversed. No longer planning or doing everything for the son. So maybe the mother felt guilty, so she babied her son all his life, and then now all of a sudden is not doing that anymore. She's stopped doing that. Because there may have been some court cases, because the court keeps coming up, so there may be some of this stuff going through the courts right now. And, you know, obviously they may not be able to talk about it because of the kids and all that kind of thing. So maybe that's why I'm getting the message to transmit this message. So definitely, again, getting this portal transmission. There could have been a death involving this person, this King of Wands, recently. And I was also specifically getting an Emperor happy to release their burdens to death. So it could have been this bad person. Or it could have been something that he did once in his life and never, and had a lot of other good attributes. But it could also just be someone who was just a very nasty person their whole life. So I was getting the divine masculines working on details of this death. So it could be their own soul death, it could be this person's death, giving love to his own broken heart, but challenged by seeing happiness in maybe the divine feminine's family, in his family, needing to bridge separation from self to come together and realizing this. So the Divine Masculine is realizing in order to come into union, he needs to bridge that, his own division, his separation from his heart. Like he's totally disconnected because of what happened to him, but he's realizing that is his block, okay, to coming together. That it's been a very slow death. Now he sees his abilities, and Spirit's connecting with me, through coming through this portal of love, drained by messages, and that he wasn't truthful with his karmic about maybe a love offer or having received a gift from God, you know, or knowing about the union stuff and not saying anything. But whatever it was, there was, you know, things that they didn't tell the karmic about this new love or this innocent love without any facade or cover-up. And also they, you know, they have issues with their karmics, and obviously it's not going to apply to everyone, but a lot of energy of the flame having gone out already and a Leo energy again was coming up, so obviously that's not everyone. We're in Leo energy, but a Leo energy was coming up specifically, that this was an energy that was always controlling him, but yet rejecting him at the same time, and so his flame over time has just gone out completely. Oh, and also I was getting that the karmic may also be giving affection to his abuser, the King of Wands, which, you know, how much of a betrayal would that be, right? So, and then him seeing himself being abused by that then being abused by the karmic giving affection to the King of Wands, and then realizing that he's become the King of Wands by having 5D sex with a third party. Okay, so then now he's seeing himself as his abuser. So that obviously is going to crush the Divine Masculine. Okay, so you understand these dynamics that they're going through, and the child within them, and why they are so protective of their own children and not wanting to leave them to the devices of other people in their world. So he's seeing his new life moving forward, but still feels that injustice of having to patch things up with people around him in order to let go and be happy, maybe without his family. He feels like the hanged man, and that might relate to the hung jury I was getting as well, that the Divine Masculine is the hung jury. He hasn't been able to make a decision one way or the other, but I'm getting that he just feels like the hanged man, like no matter what he does, he's screwed. But that I'm also getting some Divine Masculines having dumped an Aquarius who doesn't have any intuition. The advice was coming up, to release their ex and the codependency. So you see this codependency was built on childhood abuse. So they may have both been abused, and that's where their codependent bond started. So this Queen of Swords pulls the lever, releasing pent-up emotions of bad partners, so they could be business partners, unable to get along, but that the worst is over. Okay, so there's definitely transition energy going on this past week and coming up. You know, big changes happening, shifting this month. There's also, I was getting Queen of Swords energy testifying to abuse. Clearing blocks of deep wounds not expressed in order to complete his cycle for the Divine Masculine. That he holds the world in his right hand, okay? If he lets go of this, he can reconnect to his heart, and he has the world in his hand, okay? And that's a message to confirm to the Divine Masculine, so he knows that's true. It's just about using your intuition, stay connected to your heart, taking time out to heal, okay? To pay attention to yourself and the pains that you have literally inside your body, to allow your intention to go into those spaces to heal them. So the Page of Cups then comes up, finally finding some stability within the heart for union, within the Divine Masculine's own union within himself. The prisoner is freed by the harsh truth to go on. The hour of the heart, twinkle, twinkle, hung jury, but they didn't count on the wild card. Okay, and Spirit's connecting with me. He hasn't been able to focus due to a lot of suffering at work. I was getting a King of Pentacles energy, so it's probably the Divine Masculine coming into his manifestation abilities, staying patient and staying present, learning this as the truth comes out. Okay, so this was huge for the Divine Masculine. And this wasn't specific to anyone. This was a general read. So I'm not doing this to hurt anyone's feelings or expose anyone specifically. These are energies that are very common amongst the Divine Masculine in general. It's very important to get this information out there, okay? So then going on to the other messages, like I was saying in the beginning, there's been a reset of the heart. So timeline changes, reset of the heart for you to spark. There's a fiery connection, and this came up already as well as me talking about the message from Jesus this morning about fires coming up that we need to put out, transmuting all of these energies. The Divine Masculine is healing, but feeling instability still. They could be moving as well, but excited to come out and play. Actually, there's little boy energy there that's really excited to release something and come back out and be young again. And when the Divine Masculine reconnects in the 5D with them, they're feeling good about that. And again, it depends on where you are in your journey. And instead of getting the heart grew 3 times that day, I was getting that the Divine Feminine showed their face 3 times that day. So maybe you're able to have more connection with your Divine Masculine right now. And he's very excited about that. Playing with each other, you know, flirting in 5D, giving attention to them and your higher self, but also standing your ground, okay? You don't want to give your power away, you know. If your twin is still with in another relationship or a marriage, you know, you don't want to have sex with them, because then you're just a third party. You're giving your power away. So the King of Swords, there may be still that King of Swords reverse energy where the Divine Masculine isn't always still in his truth, receiving these messages of truth, seeing their 3D reality in a different way, their marriages, their relationships, their family and friend relationships, their business relationships, but are happy to like come out and play, because it's such like a relief and a release, because it's young and innocent and loving, okay? But there's still that conflict of standing their ground, because obviously if they're feeling sexual, they want to feel sexual too, right? So I was getting very soon the Divine Feminines leading on their sword of truth, but leading out a little more toward the Divine Masculine, taking a little more risk, a little bit at a time, but still staying in self-love, taking time out, you know. And there can be some awkward departures, you know, because you want to be together but you can't, so you have to kind of, you know, you naturally put up those boundaries. You don't want to feed your sexual energy to someone that the Divine Masculine's with, because they will. Your energy is their energy, so whatever you're giving him, he's giving the partner, basically. So, but the Divine Masculine's feeling this fresh love, this new beginning, and that it's being seen as the cherry on top. But also I was getting Russian roulette. So, you know, you're playing with fire there. And it was really funny how the Russian roulette thing came up. It wasn't the Wheel of Fortune, but there was another wheel and a card. And you know how like the roulette wheel always has that little stopper, right, to stop the wheel? The stopper was a red shoe. So it was very, you know, red Russian. So Russian roulette. There's just some immature communication going on, confused emotions, right? So the Divine Masculine feeling in their little boy again. Confused emotions about not working, right? Because they've always felt not worthy if they weren't, you know, putting out a mile a minute, or not moving forward. So the Knight of Pentacles energy was coming up as saying adios to the devil, excited not to work, and maybe to propose an offer. And it could be an offer of settlement, it could be an offer to their Divine Feminine. It just depends on the situation. But showing the Divine Feminine that he defends her honor. They're both having energy of starting over, giving up their independence for a happy family, to be in their truth and to triumph in truth. A lot of passion's coming up, but also realize that passion's going to throw you off balance, so make sure you ground a lot if any passionate energy comes up. Or it'll probably send you into another purge. Okay, so it's going to throw you off balance. So just make sure you're grounding a lot. You should be grounding a lot anyway. You know, get your feet out into the grass, and meditate, salt, stones, whatever you need to do to ground yourself, okay? But I was definitely seeing really positive energy between the Divine Masculine and Feminine, them actually maybe not being able to stare each other in the eyes yet in a figurative way, but actually being able to be in the same space, face to face, okay? So for the first time, working things out face to face, but with confused emotions and frustrations, okay? Boldly going where no man's gone before. So the Divine Masculine may feel blindsided, but feeling like he still is an escape route if it doesn't work out. So he's still not trusting his intuition completely. But now there's definitely alchemy coming, and a lot of ace energy, right? The Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands was coming up with the Two of Cups. Really beautiful energy. And the Divine Masculine still may be looking back at his old behaviors, looking back at when he abused his wealth or independence or abundance. Also could be looking back at religious beliefs or what he was raised to believe as a child and being judged by the karmic, by his childhood beliefs or his family beliefs, whatever it was, just feeling judged for being lazy when he was young and now being judged for working too hard. So like feeling like he can't win, right? Because as a child he was always told he was lazy, and then now as an adult he's being told he works too much. Or being greedy because of the money. And so of course it's going to play out in different ways, because some Divine Masculine is going to be more about the sexual issues, some more about the money issues, other drug dependencies, things like that. Just depends on your situation. But he's excited to play Russian roulette and quit work, I was getting, for some. Or just stop working, like a picket line. But also getting a date, you know, thinking about having a date, inspired to take a leap of faith. To tell a jealous woman that he's leaving, shocking her, getting his wish, and getting out of this. And I was getting narcissistic energy of this marriage or relationship. But I was also getting this narcissist could be that King of Wands that we discussed. That there's a narcissistic business marriage. Also from this, I was getting that there also may be sexual abuse in a business partnership where the abuser is partnered. It could be like an uncle or a father whose partner were two sons, so they're still under his abusive thumb, and who, you know, the brothers of this narcissistic father. So it doesn't have to be sexual abuse, but it definitely can have been sexual childhood abuse. Could be a father, maybe there's a father and a brother where one or the other abuse the children, and then they have to work with the other as an adult. It could be all different scenarios like that, but that's the energy coming up. It's like now the Divine Masculine is just waiting with bated breath for another 5D message with his hopeless secret, right? As the King of Cups. So then I was getting this, so the issues coming up between the King of Cups, the King of Swords, and a wealthy family. All this stuff kind of like hovering above him, and the wheel, and how this is all going to play out. And this could be for the Divine Feminine as well. All these different things in their life, and how is it going to play out? And the Divine Feminine being in their knowing, even though they know that there may be some, like, evil, magician type energy or empress type energy, really bad people, who may be carrying out evil deeds, who are just insecure in lack, okay? That the Divine Feminine is in her knowing about that. Needing to have heart-to-heart conversations came up, and also strong chemistry. So like I said, there's some positive sexual energy around today. Love abounds. The Divine Masculine's coming up is fending off others, excited for new love very soon. Feeling that world in his right hand. And that hand came up hard too, but I don't know what that message is supposed to be, but it was changed to that. So, but anyway, having the world in his right hand. Injustice patched up to let go for happiness and closure. So even though he's not getting justice that he deserves, he's going to let go anyway by patching things up so he can let go. As also for the Divine Feminine. Divine Feminine still has a long list of things they can clear, okay? It's about passion for their King of Cups, which is the Divine Masculine, getting pulled into drama when they let their guard down, so be careful about that. Of stress and suffering, foolish designs, and poor judgments, okay? So with the Divine Feminine, don't let someone catch you off guard. When you stay present, they can't do that. Don't let people take your power away. It's okay to take a guided leap or risk, but just don't be foolish. That's the message that I was getting. Coming together takes patience, learning, and self-control. So it's not about controlling others, it's about controlling you and staying present. And the control is actually allowing and letting go. Being able to control, not controlling. Okay? So be kind to yourself. Also, the message was, make sure that you judge yourself sweetly, okay? Don't judge yourself harshly. When you slip, and allow yourself to be controlled by others. Don't judge yourself harshly, okay? Always be in moderation. Work on your manifestation abilities and spiritual partnership. All those energies are coming in, so it's really, really union energy. Take one flame at a time. Heating up the twins. So both twins are being heated up like under a hot air balloon. Maybe some need to just get their kids used to the idea that they're not, that they may be with somebody else. Their family situation right now is slowing the wheel to their new life because they have closure blocks between, and I was getting the masculine energy, not the karmic, but it could be a relationship still, but it was between two masculine energies. Between the King of Cups and the King of Swords, and money and family issues, family legacy issues. So there's a message out that goes out to the King of Wands. So this negative energy that we've been picking up. So maybe they feel like they're in the clear because they are here getting word of a hung jury or something like that. But not counting on a wild card, okay? So the King of Wands, yeah, so I was getting, again, that's a narcissistic business marriage. So father and an uncle or a father-in-law with two sons or two nephews or in-laws, or, it could be one nephew, one son, whatever the situation, that's the kind of information I was getting, that there was definitely abuse here. The King of Wands is equaling the narcissist. I'm not saying fire signs are all narcissists. In this specific situation, the energy is coming off as this type of energy, okay? I'm not talking about fire signs. I'm talking about a fiery type energy, very physical, very wanting to control people, okay? And can have a really bad temper. So the flame is the King of Cups, obviously, that energy. So going into their inner child, into their heart, they express the King of Cups, and coming out with their lover. So there definitely can be some twins coming back to talk to their Divine Feminine or actually come together. They're still having some negative self-talk. they come out about their negative self-talk, holding back their passions and the half-truths, the sneakiness, all that kind of behavior, and why, you know, the wounded warrior, and why this all happened. Okay, so these are all the energies I was getting from today. And I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you guys as well. So let me know if there's anything you want to add below. If you have any health tips below, please add them for people who may be reading. We'll do the Ascension deck first, as usual. Okay, so for the organic, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine Twin Flames, what is the advice? What is the advice for the organic, Divine Masculine, and Feminine Twins? Is Orion and Commander Ashtar. The bottom is Dolphins. Okay, and Dolphins came up this week already. That's number 23, which is the King of Wands. I connect with Dolphin Wisdom, okay? I'm going to read this, even though it's the bottom. I don't usually read the bottom, but because the King of Wands came up today, there's maybe a message here. So, under the dolphins, dolphin sonics purify and raise the frequency of water as they swim through it, so that they can access, maintain, and pass on wisdom of golden Atlantis and Lemuria. So remember, we're also, some of the past lives from Atlantis were very abusive. You know, there were experiments going on, and a lot of the Divine Feminines were ditched by their Divine Masculines with partners during that time, and left to be experimented on, things, all sorts of different scenarios. But those dolphins who shimmer with aquamarine light were the angels of Atlantis. They were mighty beings who helped to hold the frequency of the oceans. Choosing this card invites you to tune into the beautiful dolphins and access a message from them. Your guidance is to relax and flow, and Spirit's connecting with me. Your guidance is to relax and flow with the current of ascension, knowing that the dolphins are telepathically imparting help and wisdom to you. I connect with dolphin wisdom is the affirmation. So 23 is a 5 too. It's all about, you know, it's that 5. It's about change, contrast, so conflict, stress. So a lot of these things, if any of the Divine Masculines or Feminines are around dolphins right now, make use of that great energy. Last year when I went on a dolphin and whale cruise, it was so beautiful. You see so many dolphins. It was great to see them all. But I'd asked, it was because it was a dolphin and whale cruise, they don't always see whales. I had asked for a special message before I went on the cruise. And, you know, can you just show me something special? And so when we came in, they had reported that we had not seen whales at all, and they had apologized about that. But when I got home and looked at my pictures, I had a picture of 2 whales spouting in the distance. So that was an amazing message. So just know they're out there, and Spirit's connecting with me, you know, giving you messages and assisting you. Okay? So the 2 cards that came out were Orion came out first. Okay, and that's number 18. And of course 18 is a 9, it's the moon. It's very emotional, the moon, and the 9 is the 8 on the inside of inner strength with the masculine energy on the outside. So very leadership oriented, focused, you know, having that selfish but leadership exterior, which is a good thing. When you're a leader, you need that. So but it's being very strong on the inside in order to be kind of on the outside, so not being completely real. To be this 9, which is selflessness, right? So looking selfish on the outside in order to be selfless, in order to serve others. So the great masters of Orion invite you to visit Orion in meditation or sleep to receive a download of cosmic wisdom. This is an honor, so prepare yourself with intention during the day by showering, lighting a candle, playing sacred music, or walking in nature. Then you will receive much spiritual light. Orion is the soul star chakra of this universe. You may find it helpful to ask Archangel Mariel to light up your personal soul star chakra, which is above your head, to facilitate your connection. The affirmation is, I honor the masters of Orion and visit them in my sleep. Okay? So if you want to learn more, there's different connections you can make in your sleep time, you know, when you want to learn things. So just put out that intention before you go to sleep at night, where you would like to go, what you would like to learn. And then we have the Commander Ashtar, which is 39. And that is, Commander Ashtar is in charge of the intergalactic fleet, spaceships that patrol and protect this universe. His mothership enters Earth through Machu Picchu and the two-way interdimensional portal that he oversees. Commander Ashtar is connecting with you through his card and inviting you to view the planets, stars, and galaxies with cosmic eyes. Breathe in the subtle energies, so we were just talking about these subtle energies with the dolphin, and wisdom, okay, of the dolphin too, of the stellar world, and allow it to affect your chakra system and ignite your consciousness. So you're talking about a flame igniting, heating up the balloon, right? You are blessed, for this card is of expanded enlightenment and a call to intergalactic service. The affirmation is, I connect with Commander Ashtar to serve the universe. So it's all about, you know, serving the world and getting into your missions, and just knowing that whenever you're helping anyone, that's mission, okay? And to see things through your 5D or higher eyes. When you breathe in that energy, you know you're pulling in those energies. Allow it to affect your chakra system and ignite your consciousness, your third eye, your crown, okay? It's 39, which is the Knight of Cups. And so it's very loving energy. It's the 9 of compassion and selflessness on the inside, so being very soft and kind-hearted on the inside, very compassionate. And then 3 on the outside, which is of joy, smiling, socializing, coming together, okay, to be a 3. So the ultimate energy is a 3 of joy. Okay, so with the past life deck, now I wanted to bring up too, I had a vision a couple years ago, and it relates to this, you know, narcissistic, abusive type of masculine energy. So I wanted to bring it up. It was a vision I saw very clearly. I always assumed it was a past life, but it could be a current life, so I kind of wanted to bring it up. And I'll do that after the cards if I don't forget, because you know how I am, I forget sometimes. And if I misspeak words, it's just my concussion, you know. Sometimes my words don't come out right, or I tell you I'm going to do something, I forget to do it. I apologize if that happens. You can let me know. So for the organic, divine, masculine, and feminines, what is the advice from the past life deck? Okay. What is the advice for the divine, organic, divine, masculine, divine, feminine, twin flames, please? What is the advice? What is the advice? Okay, we have Egypt, and spouse comes up. The bottom of the deck is forgiveness. Okay, really beautiful. A lot of white purity coming up. So, and getting, again, white light came up earlier this week, to use white light to purify. And so the 2 cards that came up were, the first one was Egypt. Okay, so we got the pyramid energy, and then also spouse. Okay. So there may be some kind of past life marriage that you had that you need to clear or go back to. We have big and little pyramids, so it's accentuating, you know, the masculine and the feminine couple. And also I'm just getting now, and their energetic union. So if you see up there, see the energy above the pyramids, okay? So it's just getting the energetic union. So there's definitely, you know, it's a really nice message, actually. And it's coming from Egypt and Atlantis, okay? Really beautiful energy. From the Before Journey of Love, because I'd like to end on that, because it's always such a beautiful message. This is a little bit more difficult to hear. The vision I had gotten of a past life, or it could be a current life situation, which is why I kind of wanted to bring it up, was I saw a little boy with a dog, and it was at an Amish farm, and the little boy was just playing with their dog, running, and they got lost, and the dog ran onto this Amish farm, and so the little boy kind of held back, not, you know, wary. It was right next to a deep woods, this farm. And so he held back because, you know, he was scared. He was somewhere between like 5 and 8 years old. I couldn't specify exactly the age, but brown-haired little boy. And you watch the dog go onto the farm, and there was a like a hut or some kind of barn or a shed that was like in the middle of the yard. It wasn't like off to the corner. It was right in the middle of the yard, but it kind of had like a truck. It was kind of like a truck in the front, because I saw the older son was sitting in the front, like in a truck. So it was like the back square of a truck that they kind of used for whatever they were doing, the storage or whatever. And I see behind the truck, which was kind of down, because where the boy was up higher, and then it came down, and then there was kind of a ledge down here where the farm was. So the dog had run around this upper ledge down to the lower area where the farm was. And there was a man behind this truck or storage unit, whatever it was that they were working out of, caught the dog and literally stomped the dog to death. And it's really hard for me to not remember this, because I just saw, the last thing was just seeing the dog's face, you know, covered in dirt and mud. And the little boy having seen this. I never saw the little boy go down to the farm, so I don't know what happened after my vision. But I did get that, you know, this bad man who just killed this dog wasn't the worst man there. There was a very old man sitting in front of this truck or whatever it was, next to like a barrel where they would literally dunk people head first into this barrel. But he was a very old man, white hair, white bearded, just with a very cold, icy stare. And he was just sitting in this chair, you know, making everyone else do the work. The son was sitting in the front cab. And then all of a sudden 2 blonde girls who were older than the older son came in. They both were beautiful older girls, like teenage girls. Maybe, you know, 13, 14, around there. And they both walked onto the farm. And then I saw a younger brother, you know, very young, on the porch. The mother came out at one point just to bring something out. I forget what it was, maybe a pitcher, a drink or something like that, or food, and then she went right back in the house. But this man, the old man that I saw here, came into, when I told you yesterday, I believe it was, when I did my past life regression, I was shown the comparison between this very evil old man and being alone, that it was better to be an evil man than it was to be alone. That was my message from the past life reading. So anyway, if it resonates with anyone, hopefully not, but I just wanted to put it out there. And I'm going to do a Journey of Love card before we go, to change that energy back to very loving and beautiful. Okay, so for the organic Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, what is the advice? And it was just thundering. What's that? The organic Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, what is the advice for them today? The advice for the organic Divine Masculine, Feminine twins. Drop into your heart. There's actually 2 cards came up, and Cosmic Butterfly on the bottom. And basically, this is what I saw in the sand art yesterday. I told you it was just this huge butterfly on top of a pyramid, which came up today. And this is 36, if you're wondering, Cosmic Butterfly. The 2 that came out are drop into your heart. Okay. And that's number 68. And then Sacred Convergence came up. Okay. And that is number 28, which is the Twin Flame energy. 68 is the Page of Pentacles. And I'm going to read those to you. The 68 is the Page of Pentacles. So it's all about working with energy and researching and learning new things. It's also about invitations. offering something practical. It could be money, but it doesn't have to be. And then we have, so both of them are 8s, 6, 8, and 2, 8. So 8 on the inside is about inner strength, and it came up already. So we had 3 8s on the inside. Inner strength, the 8, the infinity. The 68 is the motherly energy on the outside of that, coming out as a 5. So being free and exciting and very attractive as that energy comes out. It doesn't have to be that that person's attractive, coming off as the motherly energy, but the energy comes off as that salesman type energy, so they know a little about a lot of different things, and it makes them very exciting to talk to. So that's drop into your heart. Your heart's very exciting to talk to. And then the 28 is that 8 of inner strength on the inside with the feminine energy on the outside, the mediator on the outside, okay? Very soft, understanding energy coming out as a 1, though, which is the masculine energy, which is very focused and more selfish oriented. So, and that's the twins. So being very strong, the infinity on the inside, the 0 point, coming off as the feminine, so being able to talk to many different kinds of people and being kind and generous, right? And yet coming off as the 1, as co-creating, right? And that brings the 1 and the 2, the feminine and the masculine, into the infinity. Cool. I never actually looked at it that way, but so I'm going to read to you. I'm going to read to you Drop Into Your Heart first, since that came out first, and then I'll do the other one. Drop Into Your Heart says, there's a place of light within that no darkness can touch. It cannot be shamed. It can never be made impure. It is never lost or darkened or unavailable to us, though we may forget sometimes, sitting in the darkened room and not realizing that we can stand up and walk into the light so close to us, just on the other side of the doorway to the heart. Whatever may arise, great joy, great sorrow, drop into your heart and offer it up to the divine, gently bowing your forehead in your hands in prayer. Connect mind to heart, and Spirit's connecting. Let yourself have some peace. It wants you, you know. This oracle brings you an offering. The divine would like you to offer whatever is bringing your heart trouble, or, of course, joy. The divine would like to receive this from you as a gift, that it may return to you some special blessing. Place your hands at your heart, and in genuine reflection, perhaps you may choose to offer your heart burden or light now. Either will be joyfully received by the divine, and you shall be graced with a gift in return. And the poem reads, Longing, the dance to move beyond the feeling that draws me forward to a place born within that calls my soul to feel complete. Okay, and 28. So whatever's bothering you, surrender it, give it up. It doesn't need to be your burden. This is the whole lesson we're learning, to be patient with ourselves and let go. We don't need to deal with that. Let the universe guide you. So 28 is sacred convergence. There's a coming together happening within your body and soul, a unification of all that is within you. It's akin to traveling to a strange land, as all sorts of new sensations, not all welcome at first, begin to make themselves known to you. If you experience discomfort within your own body, or uncertainty and a sense of expansion to include more of life in your thoughts and feelings, then you are conscious of this sacred convergence. It is like 2 worlds or more colliding. If you're sensitive, you will feel it happening as an important event without necessarily having a physical situation to attribute the experience to, or upon which to hang an explanation. You may also be encountering this in a very physical sense by finding yourself in situations which you previously would have avoided. You may be meeting people and thrown into a relationship with them, apparently more by circumstance than by your own conscious choosing. This is a meeting of you with your shadow and something to rejoice in. Even if it's uncomfortable at times, be gentle and loving with yourself and kindly seek to find the beauty in what you are learning about yourself, in your interactions and experiences. You're a wise soul seeking to know yourself rather than judge others. Remember your divine perfection, as you are thrilled and challenged in this time of great growth. You're guided to be curious, as though traveling to a foreign land and remaining open to experiencing its treasures. This oracle holds a message for you. A deeper part of yourself is calling you forward. Any discontent, struggle, anxiety, or fear is a subconscious recognition of this. Don't worry, you're a unique plant in the divine garden. You don't have to know what plant you are in order to grow. You just need to live each day, and the growth happens naturally. Surrender. Allow the universe to guide you. Then you can see over time the beauty of your true nature revealing itself to you. It'll be a revelation to be relished. And the poem reads, from the white foam, which I just brought up about the seas yesterday, from the white foam on the surface of blue to the mystery beneath the waves, wherever your travels may lead, may the artist's touch inspire us to explore the ocean realm and celebrate the beauty as land gives way to water and water to the unknown. Really beautiful. Okay? So just allow yourself to experience new things as you come out of your fears. You know, whole new worlds will be open to you. The ocean realm. So as land gives way to water and water to the unknown. So you're allowing your emotions, all of them, staying in your heart space, to feel as opposed to think. To feel through your life as opposed to think through your life. Okay, so the usual routine, make sure you drink water, get as much sleep as you can, don't stress. You may feel some stress energy. It doesn't mean that you're stressed. It means that you're just supposed to do what you've learned to clear that energy. Go into it. Don't try to push it away. Feel into it. Ask what it needs. Rest, exercise, drink water. Just ground. You know, make sure you do your meditation. It's really important right now. And be good to yourself, okay? It's really great energy right now. Definitely big shifts coming, so hang on tight, okay? Some really positive energy coming up this month. Rise and be loved, you guys. Take it easy.